food is cooked approximately to 194 Fahrenheit. It changes to a carbon structure. The immune system, your savior, your protector, literally goes and attacks that food the same as it would a virus or a bacteria or a cancer.
This mega deal's got no megahertz.
Ma'am, what's the house appetizer?
Why, sir, it's our deep-fried bloomin' onion.
We've known in nutritional science that any heated oil is a carcinogen. Deep fried is very, very, very heated oil.
That deep-fried battered onion, that's going to take a huge amount of energy if the body wanted to process it in the first place.
It's bloomin' dead.
And the house entree?
Top sirloin, cowboy cut.
When we make it well done, the natural enzymes within the meat are totally destroyed.
You cut the life right out of it, partner.
Right straight out of the garden to your stomach without cooking, whatever would be the most beneficial. You'd have the largest energy boost possible.
We're in Palm Beach, Florida at the Hippocrates greenhouse where the distance from the plant to the plate is less than 100 yards with some of the healthiest, highest vibrating sprouts and electron alkalizing wheatgrass. I had just had lunch here at the healthiest buffet in the country and I'm buzzing with energy. What a great place to eat.
After eating all that great food at Hippocrates, I went back to Colorado with only one thing on my mind.
I've only known you for a year.
Well, maybe I was moving too fast. Caught you, Faybeck.
You didn't catch me, Rick. I've been standing here for 10 minutes.
I'm still gonna catch you in the race.
Give me one reason, Rick. Ouch, ouch.
Joe, I'll bet you've had a lot of blood tests in your life. Have you ever had live blood cell analysis?
What the heck is live blood cell analysis?
Well, live blood cell analysis is looking at the blood without staining it and keeping it in a state as if we were looking inside the body without disturbing anything. So we want to get a view of what your blood looks like under a microscope.
Live blood analysis can see lots of things overlooked in regular blood tests. At 300 pounds, I had my blood checked, and it only took a single drop.
The blood we take out of that capillary has been to every place of your body. It's been to the brain, it's been to the eye, it's been to the ear, it's been to the heart, it's been to the stomach. So that blood has traveled everywhere. Look at the plasma, okay, and the health of the plasma, so we can see if it's in its natural solution, its natural colloidal state, or we can see if it's in its acidic state. We see all the blood stuck together.
Typically the stationary white dots, these are proteins. And then the things that look like they're swimming around and moving, those are just some sugars and fats you haven't processed properly. And so now what you'll see is just debris, you know, some yeast colonies. See if we see maybe some platelets clumped.
And the cleanest of blood would have none of those yeast colonies.
Right, right. There'd be none of these yeast colonies in there, and the red blood cells would still be there.
So that looks like a lot of yeast.
Fair amount, yeah. There's a fair amount of debris, but just the amount of yeast and proteins in there is just substantial. I mean, it just really drains you physiologically and nutrition-wise.
Professor Arnold Ehret, revered as the original father of naturopathy, said a century ago, vitality equals power minus obstruction. What that means is any blockage in your blood keeps you from having optimal energy and health. Obstructions are things like plaque, undigested foods, fungus, or yeast. All of these come from an acidic diet. My regular lab blood tests look pretty good. Live blood cell analysis showed all the obstructions the lab tests didn't. Why is it important to have clean blood?
Blood is flesh. Our muscle, our bone, our skin is made from blood. Not the nutrients, the blood itself. Red blood cells become the skin. Red blood cells become our bone. Red blood cells become our muscle. Blood is the flesh. When we cut ourselves, what flows there? Blood. What does the blood become? It becomes the scab. What does the scab become? It becomes the new skin. And when we understand how to build healthy blood, the blood builds the rest of all the body.
The first thing needed to build healthy blood cells is a clean environment.
And I've expressed it very simply in what is called the fishbowl metaphor. And the fishbowl metaphor is very simple to understand. It starts with a question. If the fish is sick, what would you do? Would you treat the fish or change the water?
Change the water, big boy. Just change the water.
You ask the same question to a doctor, well, I treat the fish because that's what they do. That's their mindset. I mean, you could clean up the pool, but if you're still on the wrong diet and lifestyle, or if you think upstream, what's being put into the water? Well, our upstream is what are we putting into our mouth? You see, if we don't change that, then we can clean it up and be back in the same polluted environment that we were before with the same symptoms or worse.
I was lucky to get Dr. Young to check my blood at the pH Miracle Center.
Notice that the cells went out here, which indicates a deficiency in healthy fats. This has a weakness of the lipid membrane.
Wow.
If you watch really closely, you'll actually see these cells pop. So you'll see like someone turned the lights off. Right here is a little patch of yeast like Candida. These are mycelial forms of yeast. They're highly resistant. You can see them kind of wiggling. Here's another mycelial form of yeast.
Wow.
In fact, you can see it's moving right now. But the high level of yeast is quite interesting. It's very difficult to lose weight with this level of yeast.
None of my regular lab tests showed excessive yeast, but every live blood analysis did. What was making it grow? Vinegar, mushrooms, cashews, agave, nutritional yeast, feta cheese dressing, and soy sauce. What do we all need to build the healthiest blood?
It's an acronym I call COWS.
Not those cows.
The C stands for chlorophyll, so you want a diet that's rich in chlorophyll. The O stands for oil. You want to have a diet that is rich in mono and poly unsaturated fats. The W stands for water.
Alkaline water selected.
Not just any water, but it has to be alkaline water. And then the S stands for salt, which is just critical because salt is the backbone of your whole electrical system, your whole energy system. Energy cannot transfer through the body without salt. And then when we focus on those 4 foundational food groups, chlorophyll, oil, water, and salt, we've got a winning combination.
Live blood analysis proved I still had a lot more work to do.
So, Joe, that's live blood cell analysis, also called microscopy. What's your blood type?
It's red, just like yours.
I'll bet everyone knows what kind of gas goes in their car.
I use regular.
Well, food is fuel, Joe, and the best food or fuel for each person is different. You don't put diesel on a lawnmower.
Of course not.
Well, that's reason number 2, Joe. You don't know your blood type.
What do you mean I don't know my blood type?
I'm talking about eating right for your blood type. I'm talking about kinesiology.
Kinesiology, this magic thing. It's the use of the muscle's energy in testing for specific things. And it's always easier for me to demonstrate that than it is for me to talk about it sometimes because it's invisible. Water is nourishing for this body? True. Coffee is nourishing for this body? That's a hell no answer. It's really using the electromagnetic energy of the person's body, plus their unconscious mind, to get a response from the body, a yes or a no, whether that food or whatever it is I'm asking about, I can find it out just by pushing on your arm.
Kinesiology is a tool, and it can be a method of getting answers about what is going on physically in the body and what is going on subtle levels, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels.
Virgin olive oil is very good. Safflower is not. So it really works through a combination of the electrical field and the muscles giving me the response. Hey, you can't have any kind of peanuts.
Everyone doesn't have the same exact needs to reach optimal health with nutrients or nutrition. Everybody's needs are different from one another, and they change even in the same person at different times. Nothing stays the same, and it really respects everybody's individuality.
The best way to find the very best possible food for you, or for any individual person in the family, is through muscle testing.
Both Catherine and Vivian did muscle testing on me with extremely similar results. This proves just how accurate kinesiology can be. These food lists told me which foods my body needed and what foods to avoid. Pretty simple.
There is a quantum field between us all the time.
I have had such good results using muscle testing that there really is no other way I could do nutrition, because I feel like anything else would be total guesswork.
This pushing on your arm really worked, Rick.
Didn't you listen to Vivian? Quantum physics.
I didn't listen that closely.
You're not listening to your body much either. Have you ever had a colonoscopy?
Yep.
How about a gentle colonic?
Gentle colonic. A gin and tonic sounds a lot better to me, Rick.
Not a gin and tonic, a gentle colonic. Hydrocolonic therapy is one way to help keep our large intestines clean. It can remove impacted material and flushes out toxins.
That sounds pretty painful to me.
It's rather refreshing, actually.
The large intestine quite often has debris in it. Depending upon how many chemicals you've had in your diet, which today is extremely common, would determine how bad that is and how distorted it is and how much of that debris remains behind.
When mucus is building up on the intestinal wall, the small intestine, and then eventually into the colon, you have a problem where nothing is happening. Everything is kind of at a standstill. You're not gaining nutrients and you're not detoxing debris.
So if we have any impediment to the transfer of nutrients that are being digested through that gut wall into the bloodstream, we have a problem.
If we have impaction on our intestinal wall, we certainly could not be able to get our optimum level of nutrients through the colon, because it's a barrier. We could only get minute absorption into the vital organs that we need.
Most people have accumulated 5, 10, 15, 20 or more pounds in their colon just from not digesting their food from the day they got off mother's milk.
One of my, we were weighing her. She did 3 colonics, and she lost 39 pounds. Now
Well,
she
39 pounds
39
of impacted material.
Yes, she did.
39 pounds
39
of impacted.
pounds.
This river is a lot like our intestines, curvy, windy, and after there's a big rainstorm in this river, or after we've eaten a big meal, lots of food, lots of material is coming through. But after that rainstorm subsides, and after that meal is over, some of that could get stuck and stay for days, weeks, and months when it was only supposed to be there for minutes. All the intestines are going to be fed toxins from that putrefying layer of mucus.
If you're not having the proper bowel movements and have a history of constipation, your body is pasting the walls of the colon with fecal matter that dries on it and becomes impacted and then feeds back toxins into your blood constantly.
Impacted material in the colon can be in the colon for years.
One woman in particular who
finally passed a rainbow of colored mass in her stool, and then realized it was the box of crayons she ate when she was 5 years old, and this lady was 45 years old when this happened.
There are several methods to dislodge the impacted fecal matter on the walls of the colon. Some of it can be done through using professional colonics.
Colon hydrotherapy is a wonderful way, it's a gentle way of removing toxicity from the colon, helping the colon to work more efficiently. It's non-invasive. We use a very small rectal tube that's disposable. It only enters into the anus portion approximately an inch and a half, almost maybe 2 inches at the most. Totally non-invasive, cannot hurt you at all. It is gravity flow, so it's a non-pressurized system, so it's safe. One has control to allow the water flow to come in gently. The water is always at a temperature it's moderate, anywhere between 96 and 102 degrees water temperature, so it's very comfortable for the person also.
And what most people don't understand as well, that in the whole gastrointestinal tract, from the mouth to the bottom, there's about a tennis court of surface area.
So every season you should pretty much be doing a cleanse somewhere in your body because everything needs to be done routinely, just like changing the oil in your car.
Life was good, down over 100 pounds, energetic, and my reflexes sharp. Yup, alkaline food had calmed my spirit. What could possibly go wrong?
Dear Sumo-san Rick, you have come a long way on your journey. I have left for Tibet to become a breatharian and evolve to the next vibrational level. Fear not, in my last meditation, I saw a little bird guide you. Namaste.
Megumi's gone.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling, and I can't see the ground.
That's a hard way to fish.
I sprained my ankle.
Your ankle is swollen, but your belly is not.
I've dropped a ton. It's been fun. Looks like I won't be hiking for a while. What are those?
Cypress, one of the many essential oils used for thousands of years. Man's first medicines. It'll relieve the swelling.
Wow, this is awesome.
Lavender. Rub that oil on your body. It'll reduce your sagging skin and help you relax.
Where can I learn more?
Go west. Utah grows the best.
Wow, this is a treat. Hey, I'm in Mona, Utah, home of Young Living Essential Oils, where they grow the best lavender oils in the world, from seed all the way to the sealed. We're gonna watch this beautiful plant turn into a therapeutic essential oil. But first, what is an essential oil and how can they help me?
An essential oil is the heart of what a plant is. It's different than traditional herbs or other things we might look at. This is the full constitution of a plant. It's nature's living energy. It's live energy. It's all the internal components of a plant. One of the most important things if you're going to have a pure therapeutic grade essential oil is to start with a pure plant, an organically grown plant that's been harvested in the right ways. There's lots of ways to acquire an essential oil. You can distill it, which is the most common way. The thing that's most important, however, is that you do that at the correct time, that the plant has been allowed to mature, that it's been harvested at the right way, that it's been distilled at the right temperature, for the right length of time. But traditionally we've used them for simple ailments within the home. Maybe I have a sprained ankle, maybe I have a bruise, maybe I have a cut. My experience has been that the essential oils are some of the most powerful substances we can use.
The aromas in this field are absolutely etheric. Aromas are a vibration which affect our emotions. Emotions are a vibration which affect every cell in our body.
They can have very profound effects on our emotional states as well. Lots of references referring to essential oils like frankincense, talking about how it's balancing of the emotional energies of the body, soothing to the emotional circumstances of the body. For example, I've treated people with obesity. I use lavender essential oil. I'd be concerned about overgrowth of yeast and fungus in the body if I was looking at somebody who was clinically or morbidly obese.
I smell great and I feel great. Essential oils are going to help me a lot in the last tough part of my weight loss regime. I guess I'll grab a few more bottles of this stuff and head home.
Going home meant facing an empty fridge.
Hey, is that a wheatgrass shooter?
Why, yes, it is.
Rocket fuel? You know how to make Hobbit burgers and Kong milk? Megumi made those.
Well, Megumi is my neighbor. I taught her everything she knows about food.
Can you make me some food?
Stick out your tongue.
What?
I only make food for alkalarians. You're alkaline. I'll do it. Here, smell this until I come over.
That's incredible. I feel less hungry already. So what's your name?
Martine.
Chef Martine. Can you do pizzas?
Yeah.
Lasagnas?
Yeah.
Sloppy Joes?
Yeah.
Martine was so creative in the kitchen. Working from my custom food list, her meals were not only spectacular, but family filling, flavorful, and fun. Reviewing Dr. Young's notes, there was one thing my blood was lacking: salt.
Our cells are bathed in salt water, which is a wonderful preservative and alkalizer. And so it's critical that we have salt in our diet. So we want to take in a natural whole salt that hasn't been denatured or processed.
You've heard of salt of the earth? Well, this is it. I'm here in Redmond, Utah, where they have one of the healthiest salt mines in the world. Unprocessed sea salt is alkalizing to the body, turns into sodium bicarbonate, our most alkalizing buffer. Then it can turn into potassium, magnesium, and calcium, our body's main minerals. I'm taking in 6 grams a day. My blood pressure's great, and I'm alkaline.
6 grams a day? What does that mean, Rick?
Unprocessed sea salt is alkalizing, good for the body. Processed salt with sugar added, acidic, bad.
If you're on an acidic diet and you put sodium into the equation, the body's going to immediately produce buffers to buffer the acids of that diet, and that's going to create congestion. I recommend the healthy salts to those who are ready to change their diet to a more alkaline lifestyle.
So, Daryl, just how clean is this deposit?
Well, Rick, the deposit's very clean. It's an ancient seabed from the Jurassic period that's been trapped under this thick layer of bentonite clay, which keeps the deposit clean and pure in its natural state. Rick, what are you doing there? You're not licking the wall, are you? This was a pristine, clean deposit. We're gonna have to sell this as ice melt. Thanks a lot.
Salt is primary. Without it, it's like oxygen. We die. So it's critical, not only as the air that we breathe, but salt is just as critical as oxygen.
Joe, you're not going to drink that water, are you?
Sure am, and then I'm going for a hike.
That's electron-hungry water, Joe. Every sip you take causes oxidation and the formation of free radicals, and not the kind in front of the White House.
So what?
So, I've been testing the nation's waters we drink. You can't believe the information that came up. To get really accurate comparative readings, I got the best ORP gauge in the world, the Hanna 9828. This device will show us just how electron-hungry the water is. Have an alkaline day.
Have an alkaline day. It's a healthy way. Hey, 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 have an alkaline day. Have an alkaline day. It's a healthy way. Hey, 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 have an alkaline day.
Cut out the sugar if you want to lose weight. Dropping can be fun and it feels great.
Fresh from the garden, you will thrive. Keeps you energetic and it keeps you alive. Enzyme-rich, low-glycemic too. Hey, that's human rocket fuel. That's good for me and good for you. Have an alkaline day. It's the healthy way. Hey, 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 have an alkaline day.